But I'd like to tell you a little bit about the three main certifications we have. We have a free foundations course that I highly recommend all of you to take. It only takes a couple of hours. It's very easy to get. It's for free. And it enables you to get some of the foundations directly from Salim. We have Salim on video, and he kind of shares what are the foundations of the EXO methodology of what we are working with here. And then we have two paid courses. The first one is called EXO Consultant. This is for both internal and external consultants that want to understand better the EXO model and bring it to their client. And I'll speak about that with our guests today just shortly. But then we also have an EXO Sprint Coach, which follows on from that, which helps you to run and facilitate the 10-week transformation process with clients. So those are kind of the courses that we are offering. And I'd like to zoom in on the EXO Consultant certification in case any of you are thinking after the foundations course to take it. It is a 4-week course. All of our courses have an experiential part. They have kind of a content theory part, and then they have live calls with the trainers. So this call is the same. It has 4 weeks. You work on individual assignments, about 4 to 5 hours a week, I would say, maybe 4 to 6. And then on Fridays, you present it in a small group. You get feedback from the trainer, and then it kind of repeats 4 times. We also have you work with a live client, which is quite exciting during the course itself. Although our definition is quite broad, so it can also just be an acquaintance or a friend or a colleague. It doesn't need to be kind of anything very, very formal. So this is the structure of the program. And I'd like to introduce Igor, Alina, and Arthur. And they are actually currently in week 3 of their course, and they have been kind to spend a little bit of time with us here today to tell us about their experience. So I'll do a mini interview. Thank you for turning on your camera so I can see you. And I will do a quick mini interview and ask each one of you a question. I have 3 rounds of questions. So we'll do like a first round, all of you, second round, all of you, and then the third round. Okay. So Arthur, let me start with you. And my first question in the first round is just if you can introduce yourself and tell you how did you come across EXO and the community.
Hey everyone, and thanks for the invitation. I came in this community, finding it directly from Salim at an event in Romania last year. At the event called Upgrade Democracy. I was a participant, and I was fascinated because I resonated a lot with some of his ideas, because I was promoting some of the attributes without knowing that they are part of the book, especially the community part, the engagement, the autonomy. My background is in marketing. I've been working in this area for 12 years. I run a digital agency, but I'm an experimentator at the same time. I launched around 6-7 different startups. Currently, I work on a very ambitious idea that the purpose of Vote Me Up, this is the solution that we are building, is to help discover better leaders for tomorrow. So basically, that's a remote election step. And I decided to join this course because, first of all, I would like to apply this methodology and this structure that I find very useful for the business that I'm building, but also for the development of the organization that I'm part of. And I find it actually really useful, and I already apply it with the work with some of my clients.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll get into that in a second. But also one interesting fact about Arthur is that he was a community member number 5,000. So it was kind of a round one, which is quite exciting.
That's a stamp now, and I'm happy to be actually...
That is a stamp. That's going to be maybe only overpassed with number 10,000. So it might take a little bit of time, but excellent. Igor, let's go to Brazil. Let's go over to you. The same question. If you can introduce yourself and tell us what you're working on and how did you come across EXO?
Hello, everybody. I am an executive director of a small business organization support in Brazil, the biggest support organization of Latin America. We support 2.5 million small business a year. And I read the book Exponential Organizations some years ago. And then I read the Exponential Transformation. And I saw that it has an opportunity to do that here in our organization and to help our customers, our clients too. So we are 5 in an EXO consultant program, and we are running to the EXO coach program, we 5. So we strongly recommend this program. It's a program, even though you read the book, even though you know the concepts, the program is very important to run a project if you want.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Igor. And Alina, let's go over to you, to Switzerland, with the same question. So if you can introduce yourself and tell us how you come across EXO.
Well, hello from Switzerland, and hello to everyone, and welcome to the new community members as well. I already know about this community for a bit over 2 years. I work in the entrepreneurship space, so I launched various accelerators across Asia, Europe, Africa. On one side, working with governments and public sector to also launch new innovation ecosystems. On the other side was private sector, also corporates, collaboration between corporates and startups to be more innovative internally, also along entrepreneurship cycles. Mm-hmm. I work in the field because I am passionate about exponential technologies, my original reason why I went to Asia as well, or future tech. I do consult a lot on how exponential technologies are transforming industries, corporates, what's the potential risk, but also how can you leverage them if you utilize them today as an opportunity if you are mm-hmm. ahead of the game compared to other companies. So I'm automatically fascinated with the book and the topic because it's the field I work in. Took me a while to read a book, but now that I'm part of the course, I understand that similar also to what Arthur mentioned, there's a lot of principles that I've been talking about before, but all of a sudden they're providing me with a framework that I can also apply with a client. So it's a very structured framework, and there's a lot of interesting examples with the book. And all in all, Excellent. It's a very interesting course because you get to have the sharing experience with everyone together.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alina. So let's actually kick off with that for the second round. And my kind of second round question is, why EXO Consultant? Because you've been in the community for a while and you've now taken the next step to take the EXO Consultant course. So maybe why did you take it and how you're finding the program so far? I know that you're still just over the middle, so yes. It's not finished yet, but you can maybe share some initial impressions. Mm-hmm.
Why the course? Well, the topic, for one. Also, I took part in some of the OpenExO World summits. Mm-hmm. Anyone who hasn't participated in one, I highly recommend to participate in one of the upcoming ones. It really inspired me also to do the course because I was very inspired by the community. I know a lot of people who are engaged in the community already. There's a very strong pool of talent in there, and like the topics I'm interested in, a lot of the future tech topics. So naturally, I'm very drawn to the community. But also I wanted to have the experience to go through this learning process with the group together to really apply the principles in the framework. And I think the sharing circle has been the most helpful with this group, actually.
Excellent. Thank you, Alina. Igor, let's go over to you. Why EXO Consultant, and how are you doing so far?
The program is very well designed. I compare this program just like an iPhone. It's very well designed, simple, very helpful, and it can really transform your company, your customers, or even the world. But it's not easy to do that. I warn, because the immune system, it's very strong, and yes. We have to learn how to deal with the immune system, but we have a way now. And
Excellent.
Method, and the methodology is very nice. The program is very well designed. So I have said, I strongly recommend the program.
Excellent. Thank you, Igor. And Arthur, the same question to you. Why EXO Consultant and how you're finding it so far? I think you've answered a little bit of that already, but maybe anything that you haven't said.
Sure. Well, I really like the book, and I wanted to go in depth and to get a deeper sense and understanding of the methodology in a very practical way so that I can use it for the organization that I work. And for me, it's really important, the mission as well, because I would like to be part of a community that are like-minded, because for personal growth and development, it's good to be in the right environment. and especially me being from Eastern Europe, not a lot of people are understanding this, the importance of belonging, of a community who can actually collaborate together and work together. And I think this is critical in nowadays. So that was one of the main missions. And I'm actually happy to discover a lot of interesting people. Actually, the decision I took to actually go deeper, also during the Open World Summit in April. I really liked it. For me, it was absolutely mind-blowing. And I said, I think this is one of my priorities now.
Excellent. That's great, Artur. And just the final round, and then we'll get to our guests, our new members here. But maybe, Artur, if you were to say, what do you think that this program is equipping you to do, kind of afterwards? When you finish it. I know that you're still just in the week 3, but what do you think is kind of opening up to be possible, having taken it?
Well, for me, the most useful part so far was the EXO survey, because I managed to test some of the companies and organizations and different colleagues. And for me, it was a good test and assessment, basically, to understand at which level each organization is right now, and what are the directions where we should focus our attention and our activities in the next period. So for me, the practical part was very useful. And until the week 3, I was testing a little bit with a client, I was testing with one organization a second, and only on this week I decided that until the end of the program, I would like to focus on the organization that have the biggest chance of becoming an exponential organization.
Understood.
So it's a very good assessment to test basically where all your focus and attention is going.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Artur. Igor, the same question to you. What do you think is going to be possible as a result of the program for you in Sebra and Brazil? What do you think?
Yes, I really think to you, Yaroslav, to allow us to use our own company to use the principles of this course. So we have different business inside our business model. We are a consulting company, education company, innovative business company, and other kinds of business we have. So we are trying to redesign our business with this new concept of exponential organizations. So it's a very, very great challenge, and we are working between our colleagues here. Even though the colleagues some of them is not in the program, but they are working in the projects right now. Everybody are thinking amazing, but I have to warn you that the immune system is very strong. Don't forget it. So I'm helpful to find a methodology to help us to innovate and to help to innovate other companies in our country. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Igor. And a final word to Alina. And the same question, what do you think it's opening up for you as a result of the program and kind of going forward?
It's quite interesting because I think it can be applied different scenarios. On one side, if you work within the large corporate to disrupt maybe a department and look at from it in a new angle, or if you have your own corporate clients as a consultant. But also I did this exercise with a startup. I think it's also very relevant for young companies. On one side, of course, they have their disruptive business model. But if you look at a lot of the XO attributes and the examples were mentioned in the book, and generally it's a lot of the unicorns actually that are out there, Airbnb, Uber, etc. I think it's also for startups relevant to understand what are the attributes that can set me apart now compared to my competitors in the industry. Looking at the attributes and how can you scale up based on the different technologies, attributes in general. So I think it's very interesting how you can apply it in all the different sectors and industries.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alina. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, Artur. Good luck in completing your course. We're nearly there. We'll speak tomorrow with your results, and then we have one more week to go. But I hope it gave to the rest of you a kind of a flavor of the program. As I said, it might be relevant for some of you at some point, so we want to give you kind of some experiences from the program. The next cohort, we run them every month. The next cohort starts on the 6th of July. In case you have any questions, feel free to ask now or also to contact me. And I just want to thank the three guests here to share their experience. Thank you very much. In the final part, what I'd like to do is I actually like to hear from you, from our new community members. So we have Alberto, we have Matthias, we have András, and we have Kar, I think, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So it would be great if you can just quickly introduce yourself, also tell us what you do, and then tell us how did you come across EXO. So Alberto, go for it.
Great, thank you, everybody, and nice to meet you. I'm calling from Mexico. Mm-hmm. So what I do is work at an international company called Cemex, which is the top 3 cement and concrete producers in the world. We actually have operations in all of Europe and Asia and all of America. And actually what I'm doing here in Cemex is I'm pushing the digital transformation area. So that means that we already launched a platform, a worldwide platform where we serve all of our customers, not only through traditional channels, but also through digital channels. No? So we successfully launched last year. We implemented 21 countries, which includes Germany, France, some parts of Africa, obviously all of Mexico, South America, and the US. And the reason why I'm here is, first of all, I love meeting new people and talking about this geeky stuff that I like, no? Innovation and transformation and technology. I love that, and I think this is a great place for me to be able to talk with people who are as passionate about this as I am. And secondly is I think I can work. I would like to see how can I work with some of you, no? So I'm looking constantly for new advice, no, coming from consultants or from board members, no, from outside the industry, and as to how do they see this industry is going to evolve? Because I don't know if you know this, no, but the cement industry is one of the industries that generates the most pollution worldwide. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to see how to innovate not only digitally, but also in the material business. No? So it's really hard to know what's next on the digital transformation phase, because nobody knows what to do next. No? There's no specific playbook, but there are only conversations with relevant people. No? So my idea is just that, be in the community as active as I can, meet new people, and hopefully generate interesting conversations.
It's excellent, Alberto. And of course, I've heard about Cemex, and it's great to have you here. And kind of cement is kind of like I don't know if lifeblood is the right word, but it kind of empowers the industrial civilization for sure. And, as you say, there are all kinds of questions about, sustainability and other issues. So I think it's great that you are here, and we definitely do have some geeky conversations here. So I think you're in the right place for sure. I also, if you want, we can, I think we are connected on LinkedIn, but I can also just recommend you a few people to speak to in Mexico, because we have some great EXO consultants or community members who've been around for 1, 2, 3 years in the community, who are very experienced, and maybe connecting with them might be a good conversation, or a cup of coffee or something like that.
Excellent. I already know Pedro Lopez, which I don't know him. Yes, of course. I am open to those conversations. And
I would specifically recommend, there is a guy called Andrea Castelli. He's Italian, but he lives in Mexico City. Okay. And he's one of our most experienced coaches. Have been actually in the community from the very beginnings. and then someone called Fabian, who is actually one of we run this consultant program in English and in Spanish, and Fabian is the trainer in Spanish, so he runs them in Spanish every month as well. And he's also very creative, entrepreneurial, and everything, and a great guy to speak to. So I'm happy to drop you their names on the chat, or you can connect with them via the platform, or if you need an introduction, let me know and I can introduce you. Okay.
Great, thank you. Good.
You're welcome. Car, let's go over to you. Is Car your first name? Am I saying it right?
Yes, it's Carlene, actually.
Carlene, so, okay, all right.
Yes, so I am right now in Germany, so I'm in Munich. I just here so I'm originally from the Philippines, but my last role I was in Singapore. Mm-hmm. So I was working for a startup, Grab, so as a writing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that
what did you do in Grab? What did you do there?
So a bunch of different stuff. So my last role was a regional manager for partnerships. Okay. So for the B2B arm of Grab. But before that, I came up with my own transport vertical from the ground up and nice. For a few years. So I've been in that startup world for quite some time, and then I moved here to Munich to join Flixbus, which is one of the largest bus companies here. I was hired to actually do global expansions, but because of COVID, so there will be no project for me anymore. So I'm trying to figure out what's gonna, how do I upskill myself? So that's why I came up with this consultancy program, and my friend told me about it as well. So I realized that after COVID, we have to rethink what we will be doing. So there are a lot of industries like finance who is, fintech is becoming a trend nowadays, and also some of the most traditional companies like automotive, because one of my dream companies is Tesla. I really want to join Tesla. So it's all about innovation. It's all about not just figuring out what the next step is, but going the extra mile and just pushing things forward. So I figure that, if I just get to learn more about what OpenExO is offering, then it's a good way to always upscale and just try to figure out what's next.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And we actually have both, quite a large community in Germany, but also in the Philippines. We've been having a lot of people from the Philippines.
That's awesome.
We are working there with a partner company. It's called Trail. It's the Rizal Academy of Leadership. And they have actually had, I think, probably about 12 people from the Philippines by now got certified in multiple programs. And they actually have a vision to really bring EXO to Philippines. So they want to be running their own courses and really expanding the community. I think it's now over 100 people in the Philippines, and they want to kind of build it up even more. So in case you were ever homesick, you could connect with your Filipino community and your community members. That's great. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Nice to meet you. And you're in Berlin, you said, or in?
I'm in Munich.
In Munich. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. There is also quite some interesting community members in Germany, EXO community as well. So maybe as you're figuring out your next steps, maybe have a few coffees with them when you can get out. And
that would be great.
Maybe you'll discover some interesting things.
Yes, sure.
And you guys know how to search for people, right? On the platform in your city or in your country. You basically go to the community tab, which is on the top. I can show it to you later, but you go to the community tab, and then there are filters on the right side, and you just put Germany, and you can actually see all the people who are in Germany, and you can scroll through them and find the ones in Munich.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Let's go to Matthias. Matthias, over to you.
How are you? I'm in Chile. Forgive my English. Sorry for that. I came across the EXO body of knowledge through an old colleague that I trained in the theory of constraints. Do you know that? Dr. Gorwat's theory of constraints. Do you know anything about it?
I
Nothing.
don't know myself,
Okay.
No, but it sounds like
It's okay. You're not alone in the world. Although the book, The Go, was published more than 35 years ago, and it's a best-selling book up to today. Even today, it's a best-selling book after 35 years. I know that many people in the world don't know anything about it. Anyway, I've been working with Goldratt Consulting for 14 years now, and we have been transforming companies. I wouldn't say to be exponential organizations, but they certainly get some exponential growth in this journey. And after the implementation of, after we leave the company, they still grow exponentially. That is very good. And it resonated a lot. This thing that you say about the immune system trying to kill all the external, especially the external innovators, as we are. So they try to spell all these new things because the comfort zone is something that is very comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And while I am here, I got the notice maybe too late, because I see that you've been in the webinar for a while, and I thought I had to wait half an hour. So I see that I entered too late. But anyway,
we have a recording, so
okay. No, but anyway, I came to the webinar just to know a little bit more, but just considering if this thing is something I should learn more about.
Understood.
And
Understood.
I know you all the same as with Alberto. I love knowing new people and critical thinkers, and all my things be a system thinker and using practical tools to develop solutions to complex problems, simple solutions to complex problems. So this is the thing that I do every day, and I am the technical director for Latin America for this company that is based in Israel. But I also have a startup based in a digital application to help companies to reduce inventories, to get the on time in full to 100%, things like that. So this is why I'm here and what I do.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Matthias. That's great, and definitely simple solution to complex problems. That's what we need in the world. So we need a lot of that, actually. I'll just read out Andras, because he cannot participate in audio, but just his introduction. So I'm Andras from Hungary. I'm a journalist, a critical thinker, a visionary. I had a startup with more experience than success. I learned a lot. I am mentoring startups, and I'm an active participant of the Hungarian countryside startup ecosystem. I have a project similar to Singularity University, which will be validated soon. Excellent, Andras. Thank you for typing it up and for explaining that. So we have about 5-6 minutes left. I just wonder if any of you have any questions, either to me or to Alina, Igor, Arthur, or anything that you'd like to ask or to comment on.
Just to ask, what would be next? Are there like more sessions, or how do we ignite the spark, or how do we move forward now?
Well, as a kind of a new community member, I mean, I think there are this is like a welcome session that we have. What is happening is that when you go into the circles, we call them, which is like the kind of on the platform where people, it's kind of our own mini social network. There are people kind of posting different opportunities, different calls, different discussion topics. So one way to get engaged is to kind of introduce yourself there and ask a question and kind of to see what happens. The other thing we would recommend is to spend a little bit of time on your profile and make sure that you have kind of a video. It can be very basic. It can be just you on a mobile phone, but something that introduces you and explains you what you care about, what you want to do, and kind of fill in the different subsections of the profile. If you want to dive deeper into the model and the methodology, we are running the training and certification program. So we have one starting on the 6th of July, and then we have another one in August and things like this, both in English and Spanish. So those are courses that you can take. If you don't have the foundation course yet, I would recommend to take it. It's for free. It takes about 2 to 3 hours and can kind of earn you the first badge. And it also give you access to be in the marketplace where there are different opportunities posted usually around kind of sharing people's expertise and what they are working on, things like that. So those are, I think, the major things, Alberto. And as mentioned, I can connect you. I can type in now in the chat the 2 names that I have told you, so you can connect with them on the platform as well.
Right. Thank you. I have one last one. So I'm currently struggling with exponential organization or exponential product inside B2B spaces. No? So I already asked the people here in the chat if they know something, because, for example, my product, even though we are in a lot of countries, we don't have scale like millions of daily active users like Facebook or whatever. No. So I don't know if there's something you guys could recommend for me to read or something, and as to how the economics might work in a company, in a digital B2B company that doesn't have the economies of scale of a large digital company, but could also work in like not so large universes of users. So I don't know if you have some examples or something.
Well, I mean, there is I know several companies that are in the B2B space that could be considered as EXOs. So maybe I can, there is but I don't know if those use cases would be like something of relevance to you, but they are definitely B2B EXOs, right? So they are B2B companies and they are EXOs. So there is a company called Corva, which what they do is that they do like a software digital layer on top of drilling assets. So if you are a company in the very traditional oil and gas industry and you have drilling assets, they actually provide a virtual layer on top of your physical assets, and they are able to basically digitalize all your infrastructure and to gain efficiencies, cost reductions and things like this. So that is one B2B EXO that I know. There is just one more, but it just slipped away. I don't know if Alina or Arthur or Igor, if you have any other examples of B2B EXOs.
It would be super interesting.
I don't really have somebody in mind right now.
There is a company called Quick Cargo in the Netherlands, and what they do is they are like a kind of a marketplace for shipping companies. When they are shipping around things, they are optimizing basically, like, let's say you have a container and they have a truck, and they optimize, there is more containers from different suppliers going onto the same truck, so they are basically saving money to companies and at the same time saving the environment, right? Because they are reducing carbon emissions and that kind of stuff. I also came across one EXO was very interesting. What they were doing is that they were doing they were taking care of scheduling. So basically they said that any company needs to schedule things, whether you're a university and you need to schedule your students, or whether you are a shipment company, you need to schedule your shipments, or whether you're a factory, you need to schedule your manufacturing. Like, they basically have a software that they come into a company and they help them to map the processes, and they are able to optimize their scheduling procedures and processes, right? So that is a very interesting B2B business as well. And there is a company that I have come across which was quite fascinating, and what they do is that they came into a company and they create what is called a digital twin organization. It's called DTO,
Okay.
And they basically take all of your data from all of your systems and they create like a virtual version of your company.
Okay.
And then with that virtual version of your company, what you can do is you can say, okay, so if in this country we reduce 20% our supplies, what it's going to mean on our costs and like things like that. And you can kind of play with different scenarios about how the company can function. And they also are able to optimize processes. So for example, they are able to see like, what is the bottleneck? Where do things get stuck inside your company and this kind of thing. So I thought it was like maybe a fourth example of a B2B EXO.
What's the name of that last one?
I'll need to look for it. I think it's called Maven, but let me have a look for that. We actually have one community member. I can type in her name here, and she works with that. So she actually she would be able to. You could chat with her, connect with her, and she'd be able to advise you how exactly it works because she's one of like their licensees or something like this. Like she can use the software.
Oh, perfect.
But she's an EXO consultant, so she has the same language. Her name is Marianne Wine, and she's in Canada, so you can try to contact her.
Okay. No, this community is already paying off, eh?
Yeah. And Andres says that he knows a company making company document search based on NLP, natural language processing. I assume that's what it means. Alina, you were unmuted before. I don't know if you had a comment, if you wanted to mention an example.
No, nothing specific.
Nothing specific. Okay, excellent. So hopefully, Alberto, this gives you a starting point. And then even better would be if you go to, let me show you. If you go, this is Marianne, who I was searching for, but if you go to here to circles and you scroll down, you click on this one, community circle, you go to posts and you click on new post and ask people, do you know any kind of scalable case studies of B2B companies? I'm sure you're going to get at least few replies of kind of people supporting you. And while I'm at it, I kind of wanted to show on the search. So you can go here to location. You can put Germany. I actually don't know if I can, probably not. But definitely by country, at least you can do that.
Yeah.
And you can say there's 120 people in Germany. I don't know if I write in Munich, what's going to happen. It is. So it's 23 people in your city. So it's Rudiger. Rudiger works with, he's the representative of Natural Step, which is a sustainability framework. Very interesting. Then Oliver, Tanya is great to connect to, although she has here in Munich, but I think she lives somewhere in the Alps. So I don't think,
wow.
but she's great to connect with virtually. I'd highly recommend that. And then let me see if I know anybody. Christian was there. Definitely Miguel is one of our certified consultant. I recall him. Christian, you can connect with him. Matthias works for, it's kind of like an innovation arm of Allianz, the insurance company, and he works for their innovation arm. So maybe a great one to connect as well. And maybe you'll find some other ones here based on their profiles.
Okay. And this community, because I came in late, so I'm not sure if this was tackled before. This is open for everyone. We just have to create an account, right? Or do we have to be certified first?
No, the way we work is that it's open for anybody to come and create an account. Obviously, if you have other people, who you think could be interested in what we do, maybe it's not like kind of a Facebook, that we do something for everyone, but anybody interested in innovation, in entrepreneurship, technology, leadership, things like that, definitely welcome. They can come in for free and they can stay free as long as they want. Actually, our membership is for free. But there is then a free foundations course which give you access to, this is how the marketplace looks like. This is basically where people can kind of hire each other for expertise, right, for different things.
Okay.
So you need to have the foundations course to get this one, but the foundations is for free. And then basically, if you click on certifications, then this is the foundations. That's the first one, and then you have consultant and coach, and those ones are for people that say, okay, I'm not just interested, but I actually like to earn some money with this. I'd like to make this into a I'd like to maybe build my own consultancy, or I'd like to have this methodology so I can consult with my clients and things like this. So the program is structured in a way that it actually teaches you to be a consultant using the EXO model. And then afterwards, you basically kind of have a license to go and to use it with your clients, right?
Wow.
Or
okay.
with kind of people out there.
Thank you.
And we give people, everybody gets a digital certificate that we are kind of tracking. So looks like this one. So that's kind of the outcome of that. You can post it on LinkedIn and kind of further increase your qualifications and things like this.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. Excellent. Thank you very much. I can see Genevieve, you just joined us.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hi. Well, we are just about to finish, but I'm happy to stay for a couple of minutes if you want to, because we've just finished a 1 hour call.
I must have put the timing in wrong then.
It's not a problem at all, but just not to hold off anybody. We have it on the recording, but Genevieve, if you want to, we can stay for 10 minutes and I can just give you the information in a shorter form. But I want to thank everybody attending. Igor, Alina, and Arthur were here as guests, so thank you very much. And also thank you to Matthias and Karin and Alberto, I think, has gone already. So, and Andres. So thank you very much. Nice to meet you, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Matthias, bye, Igor.
So yeah, for some reason there was some technical error, I think, right?
Yes. Sorry, folks. The technical error was not a technical error. It was Kevin's complete fault. I apologize. I have to go, and instead of saying leave, I clicked end. Like a rookie mistake.
No problem.
Absolute rookie mistake. So Yaroslav should be joining now again. Massive apologies to everybody.
No
I've been
problem,
doing this
no
for
problem.
so many years, and I go and make that rookie mistake. So sorry. Rookie mistake, Yaroslav. So sorry.
Yeah, I need to guest something. host or something.
Yes, absolutely. So
No problem. But just at the beginning of Alina, second question.
I'm here.
Excellent. Perfect, Alina. Sorry for that.
I was chatting with Arthur and I thought that was my fault. I was starting to chat with Arthur. Wow, what's
Cheers, Kevin. Thank you.
Yes.
That's great, and welcome, Alberto. We'll get to your introduction in a second, and also Karen, Matthias, and hopefully more people will rejoin us. But we'll get that in a second. But Alina, let me just reinstate the second question. So it was basically why consultant course and how you're finding it so far.